My name is Aiden McBean, and with this study, we aimed to evaluate the association between reactivity and maternal protective behaviors of Angus cows. Animal temperaments are behavioral responses to human interaction and display various aspects of their personality. Cattle temperament may be observed as reactivity, where reactions from individuals express traits such as aggressiveness, anxiety, and fear. Maternal protective behaviors, of which I will be referring to as MPB, are another form of temperament. However, these responses demonstrate care and/or attentiveness towards their offspring. While MPB and reactivity are both displays of temperament, they focus on different parts of their personality. Temperament assessments are a valuable resource in the cattle industry, as reactive animals are more prone to accidents, they have less efficient reproductive performance, less efficient weight gain, as well as lower carcass and meat quality. More reactive animals have a greater physiological response to stress, which is associated with immunity and disease susceptibility. Reactive cattle are also more difficult to handle and represent risk of injury or even death of either the stock person or the animal. MPB can be displayed by aggressive defense of the calf, which can become more apparent to stock persons during handling of the calf due to humans appearing as a threat. MPB can be aggravated in pasture-based systems where it is necessary for calves to be handled for processing soon after birth. As such, the behavior of a newly cowed cow is considered one of the greatest threats to the security of producers. Prior to our evaluations, we hypothesized that more reactive cows would also have stronger MPB in response to human handling. For this study, 2 temperament assessments were performed on 121 cows ages 3 to 12 years old at WA ranches. Their reactivity was assessed during pregnancy testing, and their maternal protective traits were observed while stock persons interacted with their calf within 12 hours after birth. During the reactivity assessment, 2 trait tests occurred, including the crush test, in which each animal was scored on a scale where movement, body posture, breathing, tension, kicking, and vocalization were measured within the first few seconds after entry into the squeeze chute without restraint. These scores were then added together to measure the composite reactivity score. The flight speed test performed after handling, which comprised of recording the time taken by each animal to cover a known distance when exiting the chute and converting the measurements to speed. To assess MPB, each calf was captured for newborn processing by a pair of stock persons according to ranch policy. From a distance, I observed the interactions between the mother, the calf, and the handlers, and categorized my observations into behavioral responses on a scale, with corresponding scores assigned for each trait, and these traits included maternal protectiveness, displacement, agitation, and attention. From our data, the analysis of variance was done by applying factor analysis with Ferrimax rotation. 2 factors with eigenvalues greater than 1 were identified as independent from each other. Factor 1 presented higher positive loadings for maternal protectiveness, displacement, agitation, and attention. Positive loadings indicate that those traits are positively related, so the more protective the cow, the more attentive and engaged it was with her calf. Factor 2 presented higher positive loadings for the composite reactivity score and flight speed, illustrating a positive relationship between those indicators. So our results demonstrated that the traits associated with MPB did not have a noteworthy relationship with the reactivity traits. Alternatively, the temperament evaluations performed may not have encompassed enough aspects of personality to find a positive association between reactivity and MPB. Potential future research can include another form of temperament assessment. These results suggest that performing only one type of temperament evaluation is not sufficient in forming a complete understanding of the personality of the cows. As such, we can infer that multiple evaluations should be considered, and we should not assume that an animal will display a similar level of reactions for different handling situations. So overall, our results demonstrated that Angus cows' maternal protective behaviors are independent of their reactivity during routine handling. These results contradicted our initial hypothesis that cows who are more defensive of their offspring would tend to be more reactive, and instead, expressions of those 2 behaviors may result from other characteristics of the cow. We are grateful for the management and staff at WA Ranches for their support and involvement with the data collection. Many thanks to Dr. Ceballos and her lab for their help and guidance throughout the whole process, and TB for their support as well. This work was supported by the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine here at the University of Calgary, with internal funding provided for the SURE program, as well as through the Susan Church Fund.